started becoming slightly obsessed with plants, and I'll actually just show you like
Yeah.
part of my plant collection.
I
So
see
there's
some.
some there are all the pillows that I put in the corner so you wouldn't
Oh,
see them.
yes.
And I was thinking I adopted a plant from a neighbor who moved, and
Mhm.
the plant, it was a monstera that was just terribly neglected. And she was like, I think it's because we don't get enough sun. And I touched the soil and I was like, I don't think she'd watered it maybe like ever, because it
Oh
was
my
like
goodness.
so dry and crumbly. And so I was like, oh, and it was all like, I'll actually grab it in a second, but it was
Yeah.
so sad looking. And I've been trying to nurture it back to health, and it's been a few months now, and it started to like pick up a little bit, but it's still not back to like its most vibrant self. I think it could get
Hmm.
there, but actually, let me just grab it because
Yeah.
this is not something we planned. But one sec.
That's okay. Oh.
Okay. Okay. Uh, so this monstera is the one that she gave me, and
Uh-huh.
he's a little,
Yeah, it's still a little wilty.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but he's doing better, and his new leaves are coming out a little bit better. You
Oh,
can see that
yes, I
one.
see one there. Oh, that makes me so happy.
But then this one I got when it was little, and I've been taking really good care of it. And there's such a
Mm,
difference. Me
definitely.
too. And it made me think about, plants are like people in the sense that when they are loved, when they're cared for, and when we give them what they need, they really grow up to be their best, like most vibrant and beautiful, magnificent selves. And when they
Yes.
get neglected, they still have that potential, but they might just have a harder time getting there, and experience some pain along the way. So
Self-love is like having really strong roots in the ground, and then we can draw up the nourishment that we need, so then we can put out the leaves, we can put out the showy blossoms if we're a showy blossom kind of person, or the demure, little bluebells if we're not so showy but still beautiful in our own way. It's hard to blossom, and as in having this confidence, if we aren't feeling rooted and grounded.
yeah, that is so true. I love what you said about self love being a process, and it's really an action. Like it's like when you're thinking about love, it's like love is a verb. So it's not
Mm.
like if you're in a relationship and you love someone, you don't just love them and not do anything. Like you actively love them by taking care of them or doing things for them, or um, supporting them in some way. And so when we are talking about self-love, we have to do actions for ourselves that show us that we love ourselves and that we're taking care of ourselves, and we're not putting ourselves
Mhm.
down constantly, and we're not
Mhm.
insulting ourselves and criticizing ourselves all the time. We when we look at our self-talk, maybe we can start to look at, am I being really critical, or am I saying things that are supportive and loving the way that I would say to a friend who was in need of support? Like we should be talking to ourselves in that same way. And we have to continuously do that because, like you said, it's like hygiene. You don't just wait, you're saying so we don't just have to brush our teeth once and then we're like good for the rest of our lives. It's like we have to continuously do these things. So
Mhm.
I love that you mentioned that it is an active process that we have to keep doing.
Mhm.
What oh, go ahead.
Oh, and I like that you brought up self-talk, and I can talk about it more later if you like, but I feel like that is one of the cornerstones, if you will, of self-love. Because so when I think about times in my life when I've had a dip in self-love and self-confidence, what often accompanies it is negative self-talk. So when I became a mother, there were a lot of negative messages from, the outside world and inside my head. And I quickly realized, if I keep on repeating this and, feed these negative ideas and critical ideas, I'm setting myself up to not feel good as a mother. And okay, yes, I'm a new mom, so I'm not a confident new mom, but it doesn't mean that, like, I didn't want to set myself up for failure by continuously thinking negative thoughts. And so then, and other times when new things will come up, I try and be aware of, what is the self-talk going on, and is it impacting how I think about myself? Because if it's critical, then that's like eroding away at my confidence, and over time it's eroding away at my own love for myself.